The news coming out of the legal world this week confirms that the biggest lie in the adult content industry is finally being settled in a court of law, and the implications are going to change the digital landscape forever. For years, the appeal of the Blue site was built on one specific promise: authenticity. Fans believed that when they spent hundreds or even thousands of dollars on private messages, they were building a genuine connection with their favorite creators. But according to a massive class action lawsuit filed by the firm Hagens Berman in late 2025 and updated in January 2026, that connection was often nothing more than a carefully constructed illusion maintained by professional ghostwriters and offshore agencies. As we head further into 2026, the industry is facing a massive reckoning that threatens to dismantle the multi-billion-dollar machine that turned spicy content into a corporate empire. The narrative we are seeing on social media right now, particularly on platforms like X and Reddit, is that fans are simply bitter about spending money they cannot afford. Critics claim this is just a case of buyer's remorse. However, the reality revealed in recent legal filings suggests a much more calculated form of financial and emotional manipulation that goes far beyond simple marketing. While the public sees a creator living a life of luxury and posting behind-the-scenes glimpses into their day, the legal receipts show a shadow industry of agencies like unruly and elite creators that allegedly take over every single aspect of a performer's digital life. Today, we are breaking down the 3 questions that are currently keeping agency owners and platform executives awake at night. First, how did these management firms generate $5 million in revenue for individual accounts without the creators ever touching a keyboard to reply to a fan? Second, what do the leaked ghostwriter scripts actually reveal about the psychological traps used to target big spenders, often referred to in the industry as whales? And finally, how is the recent report from the Financial Times about the extraordinary talent visas exposing the massive hypocrisy of the industry's top stars who claim to be solo entrepreneurs? According to the legal complaint updated on January 15, 2026, the deception starts the moment a fan enters the direct messages. We've all seen the social media posts about creators being too busy to talk because they're focusing on their art or their personal lives. But the lawsuit alleges that many of the biggest names on the platform are not just busy, they are entirely absent from the communication process. The business model, as described in leaked agency pitch decks from late 2025, relies on something called professional chatters. These are not assistants, they are full-time employees, often working in low-cost call centers in Eastern Europe or Southeast Asia, who are trained to impersonate a creator's voice, personality, and even their most intimate secrets. Per the investigation, these agencies don't just manage the accounts, they essentially own the persona that the fan is falling in love with. The most shocking evidence in this case involves the psychological manipulation of what the industry calls whales. These are the top 1% of spenders who provide the bulk of a creator's income, sometimes spending upwards of $10,000 a month on a single account. According to internal documents leaked on January 5, 2026, agencies use detailed scripts and database entries designed to identify a fan's emotional vulnerabilities. If a fan mentions in a message that they are lonely, going through a difficult divorce, or struggling with their mental health, the chatter is instructed to record this in a customer relationship management tool. They then use specific pre-written phrases to deepen that emotional bond and make the fan feel like the creator is the only person who understands them. The goal is not just to sell spicy content, but to sell the artificial idea of a relationship. The lawsuit argues that this is not just clever marketing, it's a breach of contract and a violation of consumer protection laws because the fan is paying a premium for a direct connection that simply does not exist. As this story developed, we saw the most shocking point of the entire scandal emerge around the 3-minute mark of the initial filings. It was revealed that some agencies were allegedly moving beyond human chatters and using automated systems to handle these interactions without any human oversight at all. According to a report from Reuters in late 2025, the use of AI-powered chatbots has become a standard tool for maximizing revenue in the adult space. This means that fans who thought they were sharing their deepest
darkest secrets and hardest moments with a real person, we're actually talking to a computer program designed to trigger their spending habits through algorithmic reinforcement. The receipts show that some accounts were generating over $50,000 a week through these automated interactions, with the AI even programmed to wait a few minutes before replying to simulate the time it takes a human to type. This raises a massive legal and ethical question. If a machine is doing the work and generating the talent, who is actually the creator? This leads us directly into the second major pillar of the controversy: the money, the contracts, and the hostage accounts. Many people in the general public believe that these creators are making a killing and keeping the vast majority of it for themselves, but the reality of agency work is much darker and more restrictive. Per the leaked contracts shared by whistleblowers on social media in December 2025, many performers sign away up to 50 or even 60% of their gross earnings to these management firms. In exchange, the agency handles the chatting, the marketing, the editing, and the content scheduling. However, these contracts often contain what are known as account hostage clauses. If a creator tries to leave the agency because they're unhappy with the management or the ethics of the chatting, the firm retains total control of the account, the subscriber list, and even the rights to the content already posted. According to an insider informant who spoke anonymously on a popular business podcast on January 12, 2026, some of the most famous faces on the Blue site have found themselves trapped in agreements where they no longer even have access to their own passwords. The agency essentially owns their digital identity and their face. This creates a situation where the creator becomes a literal puppet for a brand they no longer control. While the fans are being manipulated for their money, the creators are being exploited for their likeness and their fame. The lawsuit alleges that the platform itself turned a blind eye to these practices for years because the sheer volume of revenue was too high to ignore. According to publicly filed financial statements from the end of 2025, the Blue site has seen its revenue climb to over $2 billion annually, and a significant portion of that comes from accounts managed by these high-volume agencies that utilize these exact tactics. The third question we have to address is the recent report from the Financial Times regarding the O1 visa scandal, which is where the clout of the industry meets the hard reality of the legal system. In early 2026, it was reported that adult content creators now make up a staggering percentage of all applicants for extraordinary ability visas in the United States. To qualify for this prestigious visa, a person must prove they possess a level of expertise and success that places them in the small percentage of individuals who have risen to the very top of their field globally. However, the Chatter lawsuit creates a massive contradiction for these high-profile individuals. How can a creator claim to be an extraordinary talent with unique creative skills while simultaneously being named in lawsuits that suggest their entire business, from the marketing to the direct fan interaction, is outsourced to anonymous chatters and AI bots? Per the analysis of legal experts, this could lead to a massive crackdown on how these visas are issued and reviewed. If a performer is just the face of an agency-run machine that does all the intellectual and creative labor, their claim to individual extraordinary ability becomes almost impossible to defend. This has sent massive shockwaves through the industry's elite, many of whom are currently living in the United States on these specific visas. The reality of the business is that the talent is often secondary to the management system. The industry wants the prestige of being seen as a legitimate entertainment sector, but it is currently being exposed for using tactics that look more like a digital sweatshop or a telemarketing scam than a creative studio. The fourth major point involves the platform's direct response to these allegations and the potential for a great purge. For years, the official terms of service have strictly prohibited the use of third-party chatters and automated bots to mislead users. Yet, as the class action lawsuit points out, the platform has allegedly failed to enforce these rules in any meaningful way. According to the court documents, the platform has the technical ability to see exactly where logins are coming from. If an account is being accessed simultaneously from a call center in the Philippines, while the creator is posting a live story from a beach in Miami or a villa in Ibiza, the discrepancy is obvious and verifiable. The legal argument is that by allowing this to continue, the platform is essentially facilitating a multi-billion-dollar fraud against its own user base. The payouts for these legal sections are becoming clear as the evidence continues to mount. We see a cycle where the platform provides the infrastructure, the agency provides the psychological manipulation, the creator provides the face, while the fan provides the funding for a product that is fundamentally not what it claims to be. The shock value comes from the sheer industrial scale of the operation. This isn't just a few rogue creators trying to save time. This appears to be the standard operating procedure for nearly every top-tier earner in the industry. Per a statement from a lead attorney on the Hagens-Berman case, they have already identified hundreds of thousands of potential claimants who were misled by the promise of one-on-one interaction. As we look at the financial receipts, the timeline contradictions become even more glaring. We have seen instances where a creator is documented as being on a long-haul flight without Wi-Fi, yet their account is simultaneously sending dozens of personalized messages to fans asking them how their day is going. These timeline errors are being used as key evidence in the lawsuit to prove that the creator is not the one behind the screen. According to leaked internal agency emails from November 2025, management firms even have shift handovers,
where one chatter briefs the next on the mood of a particular high-spending fan, ensuring that the deception remains seamless 24 hours a day. The summary of this situation is clear. The industry is at a breaking point, and the mask is slipping. The transition from a creator-led platform to an agency-dominated machine has stripped away the very thing that made the blue site successful in the first place, the human element. The impact on the creators' careers could be devastating and permanent. As fans realize they have been talking to ghostwriters and bots, the trust that fuels the subscription model is rapidly evaporating. We are seeing a move toward more transparent, truly independent creators who are vocal about doing their own work. But for those who built their empires on agency-backed lies, the walls are closing in fast. The final insider takeaway for anyone following this high-stakes game is that in the world of adult content, the person you think you know is often just a character in a script written by someone else. The money is very real, but the relationship is a manufactured product designed for maximum extraction. Understanding this distinction is the only way to navigate the industry without losing your shirt or your sense of reality. If you want to dive deeper into how these agencies actually operate behind closed doors and see the legal battles that are reshaping the digital landscape, you need to watch our next breakdown. To understand the full scope of the game, you need to see what happened when the biggest agency in the world had its internal ledgers leaked to the public, revealing exactly how much they spend on emotional training for their staff. For more on the hidden mechanics of this multi-billion-dollar world and the secrets they don't want the public to know, make sure to check out the Velvet Rope Industry Secrets playlist. We cover everything the agencies try to hide, from the predatory contracts and the clout-chasing scandals to the cold, hard cash that drives every decision in the industry. The game is changing, and you won't want to miss the next chapter of this unfolding scandal as we track every legal filing and leaked document. Stay tuned, because the reality is always more interesting than the expectation.